Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
Megan Fox is a professional.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
That umbrella guy is back, getting extortion letters from a wannabe lawyer and extorting his social batters, crying, don't laugh at me, or you know what I'll do. I'll sue, yeah, sue and sue. No, really, I'll sue. I heard you the first, second, and fifth time. So you hate Legos and thumbnails and names being used. Unless you say it's okay, then it's relevant news. You demanded coverage as a fan, but only your way. Then your panties twisted when I didn't mind what you say. Then you went online and said the unspoken part aloud about the bar and your image. Oopsie, aren't you proud? And I get we didn't love, then you're really mad. But remember, on this hat rack, I'm not your dad. I don't owe you respect or coverage or applause or shouts, and it's that triggers your boss. I guess you found out you're like a bitter ex-girlfriend that just won't take no. So listen up, baby, you can't get on my show. And defamation, please, for insulting your skills. I wouldn't let you open my kids' Happy Meals. That's right. I'm saying you don't have the skills of a grocery checker, because I respect grocery checkers. But any dog can chase an ambulance and bark at passing cars. You didn't get your way, so you thrash about like a petulant child. But again, I'm not your daddy, at least not that kind of daddy. But I kinda am your daddy, so get striking, son.
All right. What's up, baby? What's up? Friday. And you know who kept their promise to us all? One Shara. That's right. She decided that she was going to gift us today with a wonderful video. Man. Now, we have just been building up to this goodness. But now we have it. I love it. I absolutely love the fact that we end up with this. Oh man. Hey, by the way, let me let people build here for a few minutes before we get right into that. Oh, I hope everybody's Friday is going good too. Oh man, what a way to blast off into the weekend, right? You know what's fascinating, by the way, just noting this. Shara's kept her word about deadlines. You know, isn't that interesting? Because every time talked about before, it was always coming soon, right? Well, isn't it interesting now? Everything is there on time. Now, I wonder why that would be. Maybe it's because there's no more conflict about what she thinks about stuff. Maybe she actually knows what she thinks about things now. And maybe people doing horrible things to her, yeah, maybe that motivated her. By the way, I'm going to warn you, too. When we go into this, there are a couple of pictures that are very sad in this, okay? There will be a couple of pictures, and you'll be like, man, that's awful. That is absolutely awful. But it's there. We're going to review that, and we're going to tie it into everything that's been going on, and how well it's going to get even more interesting. By the way, too, there has been an update to the thumbnail litigation as well. That it's interesting. You know, the request for a conference, an evidentiary conference, that was denied. So we'll go over that. It's very short, but that's fascinating because that is an appealable error. If you read the case law that talks about that, it says that you shall have a hearing. Now, of course, it's, you know, what's fascinating to me about this too Again, we've talked about how that lawsuit right there is vexatious litigation. When you look at it, oh, it's very much vexatious litigation. And if it's dismissed outright, one of the beautiful things about that is that you stem the costs. And I'm not talking about for the people who are being sued. I'm talking about when ultimately that vexatious lawsuit that gets shot down in the dirt, the more work that happens, the more work you have to pay for. And remember, there are multiple people there. When you sue 4 people and you end up paying attorney's fees. See, I saw a case that dealt with something like that once. A Vic Mignogna case. And with the Vic Mignogna case, the costs were astounding. You got to think like this. Say there's $200,000. Let's just throw a number out there. $200,000 in costs occurred from one party. That's a lot, right? What if there's $200,000 in costs accrued from 4 parties? That's when you start having problems. All you got to do is lose one of those suckers, and you eating some major dirtage. This could be a real problem there. So, as far as it's going to go forward a little further. Yeah, that just means, you rack up some more expenses. Ultimately, like I said, stupid freaking lawsuit. It ends up falling. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really freaking bad. But appealable error, we'll talk about that today. But yeah, the Shara stuff has been really fascinating. Anybody who's kept up with this so far, again, remember, she was called out. She was told that, you don't have anything. So we're going to see it, right? By the way, Wendy, what's up, Wendy? Thanks for the 5 there. Howdy, Tug in chat. To all the haters, off you 5. That's right. Get the 5 on, baby. Get the 5 on. Megan brought up something yesterday to me too. Okay, I saw Shara post about these, and I'm going to keep this really small in the picture. Actually, I'm going to redact one of the images for this, okay? Because I was like, what the fuck now? Okay, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna redact it real quick while we're talking, all right? Because I thought this was actually some kind of a joke at first, but apparently this isn't. So, yeah, on one of the channels out there that's selling rocks, they're selling little, let's just say, little peewees and JJ rocks. Now, that's not smart, first of all, because this is the same platform that will actually take out your channel for putting a woman in a bathing suit on the front of it, potentially. So you could actually get banned for something like that. But on top of it, I mean, look, so Shara posted an image here. Now, I want to show you. I was like, what the fuck is this? So check this out here. I really did. I thought this stuff was fake. I was like, no way, is this real? Oh, it is. It is. Now, again, I have bleeped out part of the picture. You can find this. Well, you can go look on Facebook if you want to see the unredacted version. But yeah, in the middle of selling the Yale crystals, they're selling got wood. Wait, what? They're selling little mini peewees, let's say. Crystal peewees and crystal JJs. It was like, do what now? I hope to God, by the way, you're not selling those on live streams that you're talking about, like, I'm going to save the children's. That's fucking weird and creepy. But Shara is making fun of this, actually. She puts up some real stuff today, right? She puts up a video, and we will look at this in just a second. But she was also, like, joking around about this. And I had to look it up. I was like, that can't be real, right? Oh, yeah, it is. So she's making she's making jokes about it. So check this out. This is posted on Facebook here. You know, these are the many pictures here. Like BBB, WTF, PR legal team, adult shop business plan. I'm confused again. Then she's like, talk about tossing the towel in. I'm confused. I thought Got Wood was about a family privacy prison fence. Oh, shit. I thought it was about a family privacy prison fence. I didn't think it was about little Woodrow Wilson's. Who wants to elect Crystal Woodrow? Oh, my God. What the fuck am I tuning into? Oh my God. Holy God. What is going on? I mean, oh Jesus. Yeah, those little willies. What's up? That really gives me the willies. Takes on a really new term, doesn't it? Oh shit, man. By the way, if you enjoyed tonight's content, make sure that you like this channel. I need to chill a minute. So make sure that you like, of course. Always do that. Enjoy the old likeables. Make sure that you subscribe to Ye channel. And beyond that, if you enjoy the festivities, and you should tonight, because this is going to be a good one. You will enjoy tonight. Well, I enjoy it because of what's put out there, you know, and I'm not talking about, again, Crystal Pee-wees. That's just me laughing about something. I'm just having a moment to laugh about something. That is not the that is not the point of tonight. It's just like a what now? You're selling what now? Hey, I got a grader. Here, 1 second. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I love you.
Well, I love you too. Hey, you need to go get some rest, and then later, I'll set up your new
Lazy
pet.
day.
Yeah, tomorrow's a lazy day, but you got to go get rest. Hey, you can go change your shirt and stuff too if that's hot. Okay.
Not hot.
Okay. Well, you can put on a pajama shirt. Okay.
Um,
Or not. You can wear it and lay down. That's a great shirt. Dad is my bestie shirt. I love that one. Will you close my door for me? I forgot to close it good. Okay. Will you close my door though? Thank you. I forgot to close it. Thank you very much. You know, hey, did you want to say hi? Were you trying to say hi?
Yes.
Well, come here 1 second then. Say hi.
You know we're good at that.
I know you're really good at saying hi. Come here. You can say hi for a second. It's okay. I haven't gotten into everything yet, so you can say hi real quick.
Hi.
Did you have a fun day today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to buy some stuff.
Yeah, we had to go actually buy some stuff, right?
Yeah.
We pretty much ran out your coffers today, right? You had to get a new replacement pet, right? Too.
Yeah. I don't know where my first cider went, so I got a pink toe cider.
Yeah, well, she had a FISH. I'm not going to break that up too.
Cider.
Yeah, well,
No more cider.
but yeah, just to say, she had a FISH, and you know, it was around a long time, and you know, sooner or later those go. Then she we had caught a regular house spider. You know, we were gonna get it out, and she's like, "That's my pet." I was like, "That ain't your pet." So,
Where's my fourth pet that
so
has a little
what did you?
glass
What
and
did you?
a little top thing?
Well, we were out looking around, and she saw. What did you see? What did you see today?
A pink toe.
A pink toe tarantula.
A pink toe cider mint.
Yeah, it's a pink toe tarantula spider. That's what it is. Yep. Yeah, and we picked one of those up today, right?
Yeah, it's mine.
Now, yeah, Dad will take care of it and everything, right? Dad takes care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's yours.
I bring it to my room and I bring it down here so Dad can feed it and bring it back upstairs. And here has the water too.
Yes, we put it up where it's all safe and nobody can bother it, right? But we can look at it and it's pretty. It has its own place, right?
And it has pink toes.
Yes, it has little pink toes. Is it cute?
Yes, I like pink stuff, you know it.
Yeah.
And yellow's the top of rainbow blue.
You knew she wanted this today too, because you didn't get candy today, did you? No, you used your money to get pink toe spider. What's its name going to be? Cute.
Cutie when
Cutie.
Kitty when
Cutie Ray.
Mom.
Okay.
Kitty gave away Mom because I love
Okay.
Mom.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, you go upstairs now. Let me talk about what's here. I
I
knew you
love
wanted to
you.
talk. I love you too. You go rest, okay? I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Hey, shut my door, okay? Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Yes, she was very excited about that. I was like, you really want that? You really want one of those? Dad has a bunch of tarantulas. Now, again, Dad takes care of those type of pets. Nobody else bothers or touches them. Dad may, but that's about it. Because of safety issues. But that is a beginner spider. It's the most docile of the types we have. But again, they would be put up down here and everything. But she was like, "Oh, I need a replacement pet." She had a fish, and her fish finally gave out after forever. She'd had it a long time, and it just finally went fins up. I was like, "Oh no!" So we got to do that today. She's what is that? What is that, baby? Bring it to me. 1 second. Hey, hand me that real quick. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, you gotta go upstairs so I can cover. What? Yeah. Love you. Love you. Go. Hey, go close my door up there. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, baby. All right, let me cover the couple of statements here, and then we're gonna get rolling. Again, she was like, "Oh, I want to say hi today," and I was like, "Okay, you can, you can." Shara, though, I mean, like I said, she's been saying some pretty funny stuff. She also noted, a November question while she's getting started. And again, we're gonna look at the video and everything from today. What I don't understand is BBB and 2L's quote unquote PR legal team and Super D are all publicly reporting every inch of this case. Remember, after the pictures we just saw, every inch of the case indeed. Placed in direct threatening statements, how could they attempt to silence the entire world? And that is actually a very good question. Now, we're going to go into the video asking that. How can somebody go out there and cover every granite inch of a story and then tell other people they can't, right? That's actually a good question. Now, funny thing, as we're going into this too, I want to point this out here. Shara has actually been growing quite a bit. In fact, I was like, wow, her channel picked up some, it was picking up steam as far as coverage is concerned. I mean, if you look, she has 1.94K subscribers, so she's about to break 2,000 subscribers. Remember, the people that promise to grow channels like Shara and other folks, and again, she hasn't asked anybody to grow her, but they told her, oh man, you're out there, you reap the benefits, right? You reap the benefits, baby. They managed to get her a whopping 33 subscribers, and that's sad, to be honest, because she did put in a lot of legwork and they make a lot of promises they didn't follow through with. So Shara decided to drop some truth bombs out there, and them basically going after her and talking a lot of smack has motivated people like myself and yourself to talk about and have this channel subscribe to. And it's been fascinating to behold. I mean, again, she's almost at 2,000 subscribers now. She's soon. And again, she said this isn't about money to her, but they promise, all of these gains and everything else. Well, she'll be monetized pretty soon. Isn't that fascinating? All she has to do is hit her watch threshold. She has to have so many view hours. I think it's 4,000 hours, and she can actually go in and turn on monetization. And, if you're going to do it anyway, why not fund your own independent journalism? Turn on ads for sure. You know, people are like, oh man, I don't do it for that. Well, you know what? All those Freedom of Information Act requests you do, they aren't cheap. You know, all the work that you do and the time that you put in, that's money out of your pocket. So why not recoup some of that? So it's interesting. I mean, she's sitting on the threshold for all of it. Now, she actually did a video today. Let's see, wait, let me see where the views are on this too. Let's show it before we show everything to it. Let's look at that right now. Now the video, give me 1 second here. The video is entitled Otter Creek. Here, give me a second. Let me pull this up. It's entitled Otter Creek, Jamie Speaks, Part 1. You'll notice already in the first 9 hours, she's pulled down 3.5K views. So she's rounded into around 4,000 views. And she's just getting started. She's not even had half a day there so far. Isn't that amazing? I mean, you're already getting rolling. And I mean, look at where it is. Isn't that amazing? I think that's absolutely crazy. 1 second. I have one thing I got to do there. Okay. Now, looking at it too, she tells you, she actually gives everything here. She says, you know, Jamie Speaks, all audio clips and messages. They're dated 2023. You know, she's making it clear when stuff comes through. And remember, I'll explain a few things after we listen, and then we'll go back. We'll read everything together. You know, we'll look through everything together and then talk about, remember the first information Shara was being pumped for was actually about this person. So this is where things start to get really, really interesting, like I said. So check this out here. Let's fire this up. Now, again, well, just check it out. And like I said, we'll discuss certain things as they roll up. And we may have to review a couple of things too.
I'm telling you, girl, that's how they are. I bet you appreciate me a lot more. I bet you love me a lot more now that you had to deal with them. I'm telling you, they were horrible to me that entire time. If I was not up Michelle's ass, spending all my time with her, then I was doing drugs or doing whatever, running off and not being with her. I have messages of her saying, you know, I just wish you'd come alone. Look, it was so hard to be there and it hurt. And she expected us to do all the tarping and then wanted us to bag it. And I was like, fuck that. That is your mess. Why would you leave food? I picked up food every single day. That Winn-Dixie stuff that was around her door, she just leave it sitting there, you know, if she wasn't using it, and it would just rot.
That's disgusting to think about right there. She's talking about work. Now, again, this is Jamie. Remember Jamie? Jamie, the same person they were going to try to weaponize against Jeremy. You remember that? Fun stuff. In fact, let me show you those real quick. Give me a second. I got like 15 billion freaking screenshots open, so it's taking me just a second to close some of them. I'm like, man, I guess finally after so many live streams, I will close a few of those. It's like, good Lord, how many are open across the bottom here? But remember, this person here, and we are coming back to that in just a minute, though, but this person was the same person that in August 2024, so you see, again, September 2023. This is interesting, too, because it does actually add credibility to something else Shara has been saying. This adds credibility to Shara talking about how she wanted to walk away a year ago. So you have conversations with people where they're talking about, man, these are the problems here and everything else. And like I said, that adds a lot of legitimacy there. But also, remember, this is the same person. And you're going to hear some commentary about this. So I want to introduce this here. This is where they were looking again to weaponize Jamie. Hey, Shara, is Jamie hiding out? The girls want to chat with her. Now, you notice this isn't August 23rd, 2024. So you see when conversations came from. And Shara's like, what? What, girls? I don't know what you're talking about. You know, the two L's. You know, what for and where is all this being discussed without me? Jeremy's talking about her in videos. Let me make sure there's nothing else that pops up with this. I don't have anything that's like that's hidden information or anything. I'm just making sure I don't have like a picture of I try not to ever save a picture of the kids or anything in the computer, but I try to make sure nothing like that pops up. But she goes on then to make some pretty nasty accusations, saying, he says, or Shara says rather, and well, her camper, etc. So now the girls want to know if Jamie will show the sexting text with Jeremy. He's talking so much crap. And so they, I'm sure, want to see the real Jeremy. Again, these are accusations that are unwarranted. In fact, Rasmus talks about some of this stuff a little bit, okay? Like, hey, have you seen any proof of that between them? I have to dig. What's it for? Again, it's the two L's. You should be listening. It's so good. Then they go into the embezzling money again. No proof of that, but hey, throwing that around there too. What are they discussing? How long have they been on? Since Tia and Jeremy, other YouTubers, just go on and listen. Going back, listen, they're good. And so on. But this is the person that all of this was about. And remember, we found out wonderful things. The things that are being ignored, like the fact that they're not happy with Bruce. Bruce. Remember, not happy with old Bruce. Remember, they're just flat out ignoring these statements. These don't exist in their world right here. Where, she's not happy with any of this. She's not happy with any of these folks. She's already turning. When she loses a lawsuit, she's definitely going to be mad, But remember also the word journalist. So they brought all of that stuff up. This is where it came from. But the reason I say all of this is because the person that's being referenced there, somebody they're hoping to weaponize. And you hear them talking about how, like, yeah, it was awful being there. They're talking about free labor. That's their statements. Talking about rotting food. I mean, it's not going there. And we'll go back and read all this stuff in just a bit too.
Only that, but she at one point said she had already checked into adopting her out. What the fuck?
I'm going to change
it's not fair. I know
bit.
You say you can take it, and I will.
The volume irregularities, by the way, are not here. Like they're different recordings, so when they're put together you're going to have volume switches, so I apologize for that. Like I'm sure she did her best and tried to level all of that out, but I mean, you run into what you run into with it too.
Trey Scoop is one of the strongest go-getter type of hero that I know. I love you. If you need me, I'm here, but I will speak truth if I'm asked. Any situation, I will. It's hard for me not to address some of the situations because I will not ever call CPS, and you should know that. Ever. I don't even really know if there's a case or if it was way before, because she could not provide me with any paperwork. She wouldn't give me the number to the lady that allegedly had closed the other ones. I hope she's giving you that proof and that paperwork. Huh. And if you need help, I can help you. And that's it. I want nothing to do with
his name out, by the way.
She hurt me way too much. And the fact that she needed to apologize, not me. I did nothing to her. Nothing knowingly or willingly or maliciously. None of it. So what she did, though, she did with intent. And I have it all. I've never lied to you. I've always been up front. I'm not bullshitting.
All those messages.
So
We'll go through all the
remember
messages.
that when she tries to make me this bad guy. I came and I helped. I fed the fucking turtles. I cleaned that yard so many times. I went through the front yard. It's a mess. They have wires and glass and all this. And no, it is not safe for her. And the town is poor. The town is poor, period.
You have another person, yet another person saying, yo, safety concerns. I mean, how many times you got to have those? And before they, again, I realize that one person, they can say terrible things about one person, about two people, about three people, about four. I mean, look at, okay, again, like I was just thinking of real people going through them. All right. This person right here, again, if they're like, oh, they're not credible, they're, they're a rug user. Okay, well, they had them on the property. They had them there. That was one of their buddies. They went out, look what they had to say about them. Lloyd, again. They said Lloyd, he glug-glugged all the time, He was living there and he did this or that. Now, he was useful. And according to Lloyd, he paid thousands of dollars, gave them money. And in fact, there were discussions about money. But hey, that doesn't matter, right? Then you have what's his face? What, Landon? Is that the correct name? I think that's who I'm thinking of. But really, all three of the, I'm going to call them young adults. You have every one of them. There were statements about them and how terrible and awful they were. Then you have the two people that were living in the shed that's allegedly stole an animal, which there's some talk about that in this too. We'll go through. And it just keeps going on and on. Remember the other night we listened to that thing. Shara said, hey, I ignored this because this was a neighbor dispute. You remember that? Poop in the holes. Okay, there's another one. Man. And all these people and the good way. I'm curious again. If sooner or later, all of them will be back. You watch. I'm going to predict it now. And when they're all out there, when they're all freaking turned on and they're all complaining, no fucking sympathy. This is going to be me. That's going to be me. You said it over and over again. But many of these people were willing to. Now, there's some people that, again, they want to have their heart in the right place. Those people I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about people that are helping out because they want to help out a child or they have some ill-conceived notion of what's going on. I don't mean those people. I'm talking about the people that inevitably, the closest people will be the ones that are easily turned on because they probably talked about things that they shouldn't, Oh, man. But anyway, let's listen to the rest of that and then let's read these because, whew, man, the conversations I get are very fascinating. I want to read all that.
That is what Otter Creek is. Small, a lot of abandoned buildings, very nice people.
That's true.
But they're poor.
Yeah, that's true.
It is a very low income.
Okay, now this is horrible. Okay,
Yeah.
hey, wait. I'm gonna before all this comes up. All right, I'm just gonna again. I'm gonna warn you because this is sad to see, but it is what it is. Okay, and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna let it just. It's awful to look at. I'm gonna let it play through one time. I'm not gonna talk over. I'm just gonna let it play. All right, because I don't want to review the pictures again. I hate seeing stuff like this, but I again, so
it is a very low income.
Oh, look at that
town, but it also is beautiful. I'll send you a couple
look at the
pictures
shape
I did
of
at the end of the road
shit, man.
to show the beauty that comes every day when you're in Otter Creek.
That's awful, man.
I love you. I wish you nothing but the best in this. But please be careful. Because if something happens to you, my claws might come out. And I don't want to do that.
Oh, man.
Because it's really not good for me and the kids.
Fucking tortoise, man.
So, oh yeah, and I got you some. I gotta send you something. You need to give me an address because I got a couple somethings, and I'm sitting here looking at one of them in the car, and just be the delightful woman that you are. I love you, girl, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, now I don't want to show those again. Okay, I hate stuff like that. I hate seeing it. It rankles me, man. It just infuriates me. But all the discussion about what's really there and what has allegedly been happening, that I mean, there's just some photos. Now there's some talk that's going on back and forth about what's happening there, as in like which animal this is and so on. And oh man, I mean, you can keep up with King, and I don't even want to focus on that part. You'll have to forgive me. Like I said, I hate seeing vulnerable populations suffer. And again, human wise, children, elderly, the mentally ill, intellectually disabled. I hate seeing that. And of course, when we include that too, animals, especially when animals are supposed to be rescued, that makes it even worse. So let's read these together. Now, why does all this matter? Well, because it's interesting because, again, we're told over and over again that Shara doesn't know shit, right? She didn't do any work, any research. Now, she had somehow on top of that, though, even though she knew nothing, was connecting to nothing, somehow she was part of the legal team, according to the same people. She had all these FOIA requests, and, it doesn't jive. Like, she has all this, and yet she doesn't. She doesn't know anything about people, and yet, they're reaching out, wanting to know if she knows anything about them, and yeah, she actually does have a lot to say. By the way, let me read a couple of searches. Let me read these real quick. Sue, thanks for the 5. That is so selling, fifing, P and V. Yeah, made of crystal. What the 5? What the 5 indeed. Oh, gross. Go gross. I know. SF also, thanks for the 2. I'm for cuteness overload. I know I needed that before I went into this. That's one reason I wanted the kid to kind of just to talk a little bit before we saw some stuff. And John, thank you for 10 gifted memberships on the chat, dude. Thank you, man. I saw those come in. Thank you very much. I hope your significant other, your better half, definitely, like you said, that's your better. I hope she's doing excellently. All right, let's look at this. And thank you all there, So let's read here. Otter Creek and the Golden Key. So Jamie, you have the thing. Yeah, she does. She hurt me so much. And lies, one right after the other. Now you see, again, you see yet another person telling you this stuff. You see the date on it, September the 27th, 2023. So again, lines up with what Shara was saying about dates and about concerns. She was saying a year ago, and they've argued that. Oh, maybe I have concerns a year ago. You weren't stepping away a year ago. Yeah, it does sound like, because she's like, I've never met someone so cold. Never. Okay, let me roll through. She's a liar about so many things. So nope, I will keep calling her when I want. Tell her to give my things back. Because she has them, period. But she's a scammer and a liar. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did she keep some of your stuff? That would be bad. I realize, again, you take the credibility of people how you want. Because we have a video, we're going to include, like I said, I do want to include one day, sooner or later, we'll get to, about the trailer as well. But, the narrative on who people were That was created out of audio mentioned by one person. And that person has said many. I challenge you to tell me when they're talking about somebody in audio that we've heard with police and stuff, who has been mentioned positively? Like there's a challenge. Like, name me the person that's actually mentioned in a positive. So I have one there, you know? Oh, by the way, this is interesting. So apparently not last night, it was either last night or the night before, certain channel admitted something yet again. They admitted that the sponsor that was targeted, you know, that Jeremy had, Olight, yeah, they contacted them 100%. Now, considering the, again, what the hales, I don't think these people really grasp how bad this stuff could be for them. Because what the hell's media ecosystem, you know, plots to take people down, messages and more, you know, mentioning all of that. It looks really bad. And, you know, when you're looking at that, that alone isn't really enough. What you need are damages. And you need to be able to link damages to specific people. And when people are telling you that, yes, indeed, we're the ones that did that, we're the ones that cost you. Yeah, isn't that fascinating? You're the voice of a person that's in litigation, and you admit that your targeted sponsor is bad, man. But anyway, let's continue. You see, I have a lot more I don't expose, like her talking about how she'll get money from them before she moved there, and what she said about it while I was there. Wait, what? Well, what? Well, that's fascinating. Again, you know, you believe what you believe. But isn't that interesting, you know? She said, I have a lot more I don't expose. Again, like her talking about them. Talking about how she's going to get money from them. Now we know who the them is that's being mentioned. And again, that's an interesting accusation because that's being mentioned right out there in the public, you know? And what she said about it while I got there. And I have pics of the shed. She makes stay with no room and nowhere for her to play. You know, again, you know who she's redacting there. So she's saying, you know, the accusation there is they have pics of, she has pics of the shed where she makes her stay with no room, nowhere for her to play. That's awful. Absolutely awful there. By the way, Sticky Widget, thanks for the vibe. Gotta head home and brine some salmon from Smokefest. 5 on Vipers. Yeah, actually today I had seafood. You know what I had today that was good? I know this is random, but I'm still gonna throw this in there. You know what I had today that was really good? I had some gator bites. There's a place down not very close here, but I wanted to take my daughter. She's been like, oh, gator. You know, we were talking about New Orleans and stuff. And she was mentioning this interest in alligator, like gator bites, gator tail. I was like, oh, we can get those. So I took her somewhere where you can get those as an appetite. They're good, by the way. If you've never had it, oh, my God. That, and she finally opened up. She's 11 now, and she finally opened up to catfish today. Isn't that amazing? Finally. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've been missing out so much. I was like, man, I've been telling you. I've been telling you forever. Sandra D, also, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate you too. Always. Laura, thank you also for a membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for a membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Love saying that too. Thank you, Laura. Thank you both for letting me say that too. Awesome. And John. Thanks for the 5 there. Tug, I made up my mind. YouTube can censor my comments. Deleting a relatively innocent Asian couple named Sarplay. So 1-1 25. I'm deleting. Oh, you're going to remove? I understand that. Here's the thing. You know, I hear people all the time say this. We're going to move to Rumble, or we're going to do this or that. You know, here's the thing. If you want social change, you know who is one of the biggest obstacles to that? Alphabet Company. You're playing in the backyard of one of the biggest censors. You're actually right there and you're making change. You're making it in cases. You're making it socially. It takes a lot of noise to do it. And, you know, sooner or later, with enough pissed off people, maybe you'll actually change law. Maybe you'll actually have some accountability with that. But, you know, I get it too. I mean, I have to go out of my way to accommodate censorship, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But you know, if you're gonna change things, you have to change things right there in that backyard. Like I said, I get you, buddy. But you know, I mean, it is what it is too. And like I said, I get it too, buddy. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 2. Give me some gator bites and make it snappy. Okay, let's continue here. I like gator bites. Oh man, they are so good. They are. The little one, like I said, she was all over it too. So let's continue here. I have messages from her admitting all the stuff John does and recordings of him going, I think that's supposed to be off. It says if, and throwing his baby fits. So she's saying that she has video and pictures of John and that stuff, recordings, the stuff that she's of all of what John does. God knows what kind of accusations. Again, you've seen the comfort level. Like, I don't get that. As far as John, I don't get that. I could not be around somebody that accuses me of absolutely horrible shit. Unless, of course, there is that one thing. Is it true? Because she said some pretty nasty things. Is all that true? Because he doesn't seem to have a problem with all of that being said publicly. He hasn't gone out and tried to clear the air of that, as it were. He just walks around. He's either walking around like a whipped dog, as it were, or again, it could all be true. I don't know. Again, I'm not the one making the accusations. I've heard what she says about it. And what I've heard there by myself, you know, again, about keeping an ex-wife in a bottle in a shed. That's bad business, you know. About him being verbally and emotionally abusive. About him intentionally infecting the kid with something, and so on. I mean, there's been all kinds of accusations. Terrible stuff, man. I always wonder, again, why? But says up, you know, I've got him calling her names. I have so much I could help them with, but I don't. So they never call me a liar. Let me see. 1 minute. I'm making sure I thought it jumped there. There it is. Okay. Now, again, one thing that Shara's doing that's very good too, she's giving you the dates on stuff. She's making sure, you know, one reason that she's doing that is because there's been the question of quote unquote, I'm going to say legal liability. That's the easiest thing. Confidentiality, they want to throw in there, you know, but really what they're trying to throw at her is legal liability. So she said, you know, there's a date range right now, currently, that she's avoiding until she clarifies a few things. It is messed up, though, that I can't even imagine somebody telling me that I can't talk about what I want to talk about. Ugh, like that, you know? Hey, John, thanks for following through. I'm just telling you ahead of time in case you want to delete my written. No, dude. If you disappear, you disappear. Man, I love it, pretty, you know? I'm sure I might affect you. New Year's, I'm gone. No, I appreciate you, buddy. You know, if you disappear, you know, until then, we'll have fun. We got another month. Let's have fun. And you know what? It doesn't change my opinion on you'll be a fond memory that if you're gone, hopefully you'll be around other places. But if you're not, it will be a fond memory, man. I'll be like, dude, I appreciated that guy. That guy I brought up. You know, one thing I've appreciated about it, you bring up topics that I miss, things that I forget to cover. And that actually helps out quite a bit. Hey, John, by the way, dropped another 10 gifted memberships too. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man, for sure. I hate to see people go, but I understand it too. I get it. You know, you make your decisions, buddy. But let's have fun until then, you know. And who knows? Maybe you'll be like, well, yo, things are so off the chain, and maybe change your mind. Who knows? Yeah, well, let's see. But here's another one, okay? 8/8/2023. I've not even talked to Jeremy, and regardless, you think what that bee did to me and how running her mouth didn't harm me and my kids. What that bee said about me are all lies point blank, and she made sure to spin it to be as harmful as she could. Huh. Oh, well, that's interesting. Because again, you know, we heard the discussions about who this person supposedly is, and you know, again, how they were also blamed for retaliatory. You know, they went in and tried to push aside things like worry about a child, saying, "Oh, no, that's just retaliatory." Thinking that was their narrative. So, you know, again, you believe what you want and stuff. I look at all of this and I think, man, it said he had another person saying, how many people are unreliable liars? And if all these people are, why are they on your property around you? Why do you surround yourself with those folks? You know, I could see you making a mistake. You know, if you're talking about people that you met online or something, I could get that. You know, you can't judge how people are going to be online. But when you're talking about people, you know, bringing them onto your property, around your family, how many times can you say, you know, this person's a crackhead or a meth head or whatever? How many terrible things can you say about somebody? Little people in the walls, you know, how many times can stuff be said before you think, by the way, put in my PSA, public service, don't contact anyone associated with any of this stuff, nor any agencies. We wouldn't do that anyway, but making sure to say that anyhow, you know, because there's litigious people out there that want to pretend that even discussing what people have to say is somehow in some way, it's monstrous. But I spoke the truth. While she spews more and more lies, you think telling everyone I was shooting on the camper and imaginary people is okay? You think her making the statement, I shouldn't be taking care of my 2 kids and CPS should intervene, was okay? I was blocked from her page, but she kept making posts and comments on me. And you think that's okay? That is interesting too, isn't it? Because, you know, this person says, hey, I'm the victim of, you know, all the time. And yet this person here is like, yo, I was blocked off a page where I'm getting run down. They're saying, you know, I was getting the old pew, pew, and taking on the imaginary people in the walls, the little people in the walls, you know, I mean, yeah. And again, they're kids. And again, I don't know the truth of the matter. I do think if somebody's, you know, going gung-ho on your property like that, that's a scary thing. And maybe you should vet people more, but what do I know, right? What do I know? What's up, Travis, by the way? Thanks for following. I'm absolutely ghosting you. Stadium in the box. Waiting for Mike Tyson fight to begin, but we'll listen until it does. People in the box are annoyed. I don't care. It's hilarious, dude. Yeah, you know what? Let me say this about Mike. I'll probably watch that and replay with the Mike Tyson stuff. Mike Tyson's a 58-year-old man. Props to him. That man was a beast back in the day. I don't want to watch a 27-year-old man fight a 58-year-old man. But, you know, in my heart, I want Mike Tyson to win. But in my mind, I don't know if he can. He's 58. If he does, woo. But, you know, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, that's what we're talking about. That happens today. Whew. I get it, too. I do want to know. But I don't want to see Mike Tyson if he loses. That's going to hurt it's going to hurt me in my feels. It's going to make me sad, you know. 1 second. I got to grab a cord. I'm walking right across the room, okay? I'm not putting you on hold or anything. Just give me a second. My chat died. My chat didn't die. Just give me 1 second. I'm getting a cord, okay? My chat has died on me, and I can't have that. So I got to get a charging cord. Oh, my gosh. It's caught on something, though. All right, I'm coming right back here. I'm right here. Yeah, I'll be distant for one moment, but I'm getting a cord, like I said. Just give me a second. I watch you all in the chat on a phone, and I've been between work stuff and doing stuff with kids. I have not been able to stop all day long. So my phone finally said, nope, none of that, no more. So I'll catch the chat up in a couple of minutes once I get like a 1 or 2% charge on my phone. But here's the next part of it. Again, this is August the 10th, 2023. So I watched it, and he used many reasons. And from her lying ass, of course, one would be concerned. She made me out to be someone I'm not. And even in that meeting, she tried to blame me, but said Jeremy brought me there. She's so full of shit. How and when did he do that? So she's like, they tried to blame Jeremy for me, saying that I somehow was brought there. And what now? You know, so she's like, did you know? Okay, you see the date. She's starting to change. Did you go to Otter Creek? No. Why? I'm not even sure when. Let's see. Now you see dates again, you have out of order. So this goes back to the 2nd. You know, again, she's finding what she finds there, and she's putting things, you know, out there to match them up how she's making a point. But she says on the 2nd here, she said, I watched enough and heard enough from Lie Net. She makes sure to call her Lie Net, by the way. In her own voice, as she put it, the gloves are off now. She had the nerve to bring my kids into this and say, I didn't deserve to have them. F that B. She should have shut her mouth. And you know, you have Shara over here again. We got the tear, and yet the yeah, you know, that's not good emoji. And it's a mess. And it is. It's all a mess there. Well, she's the reason. She's bad news. She's sending people personal messages, and they are coming back to me. She's spreading lies. Again, I think this is fascinating stuff, because remember, this is a person that says that, you know, they don't do anything to anyone. They don't go out there and harass. They're just a poor, indigent, you know, person, elderly, you know, impoverished. And yet. So let's continue. There's a lot of stuff on some of these, you know. So ask her if she's going to get, okay, so this goes back to 7/21, okay? So ask her if she's going to give my stuff back today, because I'm headed that way soon, and if not, I'm calling the police to make a report for sure. And then I'm getting the body cams report and any pics they took, and it will show that she kept my things. I mean, I asked within a couple hours, and she said they took it all. Nothing is left here, which was a lie. So return my things and we will be done. And I will go along my own way. So she's saying, hey, She stole my stuff. That's fascinating too, you know? Huh. I wonder, by the way, how the remember the supposed contract that happened with Lloyd and the camper? Here's a question I still don't understand. Why didn't Lloyd get added to the trespass file? Why didn't they add him in as part of the conspiracy? Were they afraid that Lloyd might actually talk about what was there? I mean, if it ended up going to trial, that would look really bad if Lloyd actually sat down and talked about a bunch of stuff. You know, it might look bad, but look at the stuff she lists here. She says she had a power washer. Power washers, by the way, even cheap ones are not cheap. You know, if you know what I mean. Like I had a power washer that was, I'm not going to say the best thing ever. I actually had to get rid of it back in the day. You know, luckily now I'm more financially stable. But back in the day, you know, I had one. I'd gotten it as an item to try out. I kept it for a while. I loved it, but unfortunately, you know how that goes. But saying that, power washer, they're not cheap. Nice to have. You can also make a little money that way sometimes. Food, corn dogs, pizza, pork chops, breakfast bowl. All my wiring for electric, 50 foot of 100, not installed. Electric receptacle, a rooster yard item and decoration, several totes, triangle canopy, my fan, $350 Sony headphones. That, you know, certain things like your breakfast bowl and things, you probably don't want back. I'm just going to say that. You probably, you know, here you go. I kept your breakfast bowl. Probably don't want that. I'm just going to say, you know. I'll be like, well, you know, the remnants of your breakfast bowl, they're out there in that blue bucket. I store them all out there. I was like, oh, no, I don't want that. Yuck. No, abort. Skull headphones, extension cords, blue bucket with tools inside. Oh my God. Hey, I'm just going to say this. Maybe color coding things would probably be the best idea. Like blue, you know, in nature, certain colors are utilized as warning signs. Well, maybe on the property there, certain colors should be warning signs too. You know, if you run across like let's just say a blue bucket, right? I would say do not enter, do not press go. You know, let's not go there. That would probably not be something I would want. And I especially wouldn't want my tools inside, you know? Like, well, they're not exactly in the condition. Did somebody bury my tools in the yard? Not really. In the yard, you say? Yuck. No. No. Nay. That sounds bad. 1 second. I got to get over it again. Hey, Raider Legs, what you doing?
Good.
Oh, good. Can I have a kiss on my cheek real quick? Okay, go get ready for your lazy day tomorrow. You going to have a lazy day tomorrow?
Yeah. Will I have a lazy day?
You are going to have a lazy day, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna lay down and rest, and we can look at some of the toys and other stuff, right? And you can.
My iPad said.
Okay. Well, hey, tomorrow I'll charge it up for you. Okay. We'll get it all charged up and everything. Okay.
But I play my favorite game.
Yeah. Well.
Where you?
All right. Love you. Love you, kiddo. She's like. She calls them lazy days. She's like, I'm going to have a lazy day today, Dad. You know, a day she doesn't have to go and do anything. I want to have a lazy day. I named after that show, Farscape. You know, today is a rest day. If you see Farscape, you know what I'm talking about. But if not, well, there you go. There's just some more nerd stuff. Hey, John. Thanks for the other 10 gifted memberships, my friend. Thank you again. And like I said, I appreciate you right here. Man, there's so many of you. You know, when I look at that, you know, I was thinking like John talking about in 2025, he's done. And I think, man, there have been so many people that like names that I think of that I remember off and on. I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, hopefully I can do it for a long time more. But a lot of you I appreciate. Names, new names.
Can Sissy make these pizza bites? Can Sissy make these pizza bites?
The Orion, thank you for the 2 there. Appreciate that.
Pizza bites?
1 second, I have to mute for a second. Goodness. Oh, sorry about that. I had to mute for 1 second there. Orion, thanks for the 2. It's a typo. Did she say blue bucket with stools? Oh no. It's all in the S, man. It's all in the S. Yuck. Blue bucket with stools inside. I hope you're talking about being short and wanting to get taller. Oh my God. Yeah, I want pizza bites, please. Actually, the little pizza bites there are like, ugh. Yeah, she's adorable. Thank you. Yeah, we ate a bunch. We went out, we ate some more. Yeah, she had macaroni and cheese for dinner, French fries. Yeah, we didn't have anything close to like good for you. She had ice cream and everything, and all of that is just end up popping in the worst way possible. It's like, no, it's sleeping time. It's not time to have anything else. But she's like, pizza bites, She won't eat them. She just wants to make them. That's the funny thing. But let's see what else is on here. So, on my car mats, the black mats leading up to camper, extra long plug for the camper, hoses for the sewer. Wait, what now? Hoses for the sewer? Hoses? How's that working now? Hoses for the sewer. What is it? Is that like a is that like a hose you connect to the water and hose out the bucket? What is that about? Hoses for the sewer. Tool set, big propane tank, a big cooler, hitch shelf, outside rug and black plastic bag, till container with handles, small cooler, and a gong. A freaking gong. I mean, of all the random shit. Boom. We are calling the turtles to meeting. What's up with the gong? It is the Gong Show, baby. That's hilarious. Hey, Jacqueline Weaver, what's up? What's up? I hope you're doing great today, and thank you. So there's 5 gifted memberships in there. Thank you very much, too. I appreciate those. I appreciate watching them fall in. Love looking at it. Look, it's Jacqueline's up there. John, I can see those. And John, there was another 10 as well. There've been a couple of members, too. Man, fun times. Love it. All right, let's go forward. Let's see what's here. Okay, so this is back to the 21st. It says, she and him are not good people, and they are not loyal. Look at what she did to me. I'm sorry they are doing you like that. John is the worst. Now, this is fascinating to me, too. Like I said, I haven't sat down and talked to Shara about what they aimed at her. But I get the feeling that she was not treated very decently. It's sad, really, when the people that supposedly hate you, that's what people love to say. Oh, those people over there, people like Tug and Megan, they hate you. No, I mean, we laughed at stuff. We made fun of stuff and she shot back. But it's bad that those exchanges sound like they were better than some of the things that she was getting from so-called friends. Like, isn't that messed up? When your so-called friends treat you worse than the people that are supposed to be adversarial to you. A lot of people enter very toxic relationships. I hate the word toxic. It gets overused these days, you know. It's used wrong. But it is a good descriptor for stuff like that. You know, these friendships that not really friendships at all. They're vehicles for youth. And again, I don't know how these friendships really went with these folks, but the descriptions that I see are very bad. You know, again, when Shara's like, hey, I gave hundreds of dollars. It sounds like the same thing we've heard from other people. I gave hundreds of dollars. I thought it was going to go for this. I feel deceived. You know what's really crazy about that? Despite hearing that, so many people will just ignore it. They don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter how many people come out. They've already made up their minds what's going on. They've already bought into something. They haven't sat down and listened to folks. Again, somehow Michelle Preston and John Cook are somehow victims. And yet, like I said, you listen to Preston on her own talk about John Cook, and she describes a monster. She calls him a monster, man. And then you look at you look at some of the audio that comes up. Not very lovely stuff, is it? John, thanks for the vibe. Bad tongue. You're supposed to be laying off the cigars. You know, to be fair though, honestly, this is true. No, you know, again, they're not good for you. Here's the thing though, like I've said, and I'm actually proud of where I'm at. I don't judge people because of substance use, because I've been there before. In my habit, I drink Cokes. That's the only Cokes that I mess with. I actually drink I think right now I have some Fantas. The US Fantas are so bad too. They're probably more dangerous than the freaking cigar is. But on that, I have a cigar. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It is a bad habit. I would not encourage anyone for that in any way. I'm proud of where I'm at though. Thank you, John. You are right in that, you know. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Actually, I've gotten back to walking more. You know, oh man, the beer bug was an excuse to be lazy. And then there's always excuses, right? It doesn't matter if they're legit or not, but I've been trying to take better care of myself. And you're right too. But how did you hear about my camper? I wouldn't stay with them because their land is smelly and dirty. I wouldn't stay with them because their land is smelly and dirty. And I'm telling you, she will try to work the hell out of you. Now that seems to be interesting. Here's the question, you know, I kept wondering, you know, she talked about having people working for her, living in the shed, you know? Yeah. When she talked about that, I kept wondering, what exactly are they being compensated? Because surely you're not compensating like room and board, you know? Living in a shed is not, I mean, come on, man. There's a place called Chiefland and an OK hotel there. That's where I stayed, but Gainesville is a little further, but a big city. Lot to do nicer hotels. I would not count on her, sis. She will turn on you too. I'm sure of it. You know, here's yet another person. He's like, she's going to turn on you. It's been true, by the way. You know what? They've all turned on Shara. And again, you know, so many people out there, they just ignore this. They don't give a fuck. In fact, they pile on with it. And, you know, that sucks too. When you have a realization that somebody treats you like absolute crap, it's painful. It's ugly. I feel like Shara had an epiphany on that. She had concerns there, but I think she did look at that person, and she could correct this if I'm wrong. But, you know, one of the things that leads you to ignore the little voice in your head is the little voice in the heart, right? You lead with emotion. You don't lead with logic. And ultimately people get turned on. And she said, what's the name of the hotel? It's nice, etc. We skip over that. Who cares? You know, got small talk in there too. Now, the picture with the animals, okay, remember the animal picture? Again, I don't want to bring those up again. I personally, other people may. I just, like I said, I don't like that. I used to keep chickens. I haven't done this in a long time, but I had chickens back in the day. In fact, even when I was a teenager, me and this other guy, we decided, you know, farm fresh eggs, you know, kept chickens. They're fascinating to watch, man. They're crazy. They're fun to watch sometimes. They're so nuts. But it bothers me to see them in that shape. And I, like turtle wise, man, it really bothers me. I've never had a tortoise, but I have had water turtle. In fact, the one that I really liked, I actually have had 2 injured ones that I worked with. You know, there's land where you can actually re-release them and not worry about reintroduction and reintegration and them dying and being killed. But I found a sliding turtle that had been stepped on by a cow. You know, that happens sometimes. And, you know, as long as there's a lot of mud, it just pushes them down. They have to work their way out of it. But this was a little bitty one that cracked his shell. So I took him home, kept him for a while, you know, let his shell mend up, and finally, after he was good to go, I also ended up with a snapping turtle. He ended up with a fishing line that got wrapped around his leg and his neck, and it jacked him up. And he ended up, it grew into his shell and everything else. So it took him a while to mend from that. So, you know, that little beast. There's actually ponds. They're not fish ponds. You don't want to introduce a snapping turtle to a fish pond. But there's an old pond that's got snapping turtles in it already. I ended up, once that thing got big enough and it was getting in on its own, to let it go. The other one. But my point is in that I really I like turtles, you know, as is again, forever Jeremy there. I do like them though. I've always liked turtles. They're so peaceful. They aren't trying, well, you know, and here's the thing. There's a stewardship issue. When you're supposed to be rescuing them, hopefully you are. Hopefully you're taking good care of them. You know, again, you may hate like spiders and stuff, but I end up with a lot of rescues. I buy some here and there, but not as much. A lot of times I pick up, again, abandoned pets. The pets that nobody else would pick up, you know, and when you get that, you get some stuff that's in bad shape, been abused. I did that with dogs at one time, you know, when I was younger, and it's rewarding. Sometimes it's tough, but it's rewarding. But the animal shouldn't need to be rescued from you, and hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. But she says they have chickens all have no feathers on their azes. Please let's not forget how she was going to kill Tilly right in front of my eyes. She is a liar and used me to make herself a victim. And she's the only one that made anything about that camper online. Stop falling for her lies, Shara. So she's like, hey, you know, again, they blame Jeremy over and over again. She's like, no, it wasn't Jeremy that did it. It wasn't. She also said, I didn't hang out with meth users. I helped her handyman that she told me was clean when I ran over his bike tire, and she kicked me off over me not spending time with her. That's all. So she's like, hey, as far as the old usage thing is concerned, She's saying that I wasn't hanging out with those kind of people. In fact, I was hanging out with her folks, her handyman, you know, and she ended up kicking me out because I wouldn't hang out with her. Isn't that interesting? John, thanks for. I'm not gonna lie, a little Diet Coke and Rockstar Silver Ice. I can't do like rock stars and stuff. I used to have a. This is terrible to say. Okay, when I first started like with mental health stuff, I actually started as a case manager. Now they call them care managers in the state, but you know, a CM, case manager. So as part of that, I had to be alert all the time. So I would drink coffee. I would drink like Cokes, and I would drink lots of Red Bull, and it was bad for me. I could tell after a while of doing that, I was like, no more. I just can't do it anymore. And also, DTG, thanks for the 10 there. Does that title say part 1? It does indeed say part 1. And I have I have a lot of confidence that stuff's going to come up. Hey, wait a minute, I have a reactor. So let me, okay, here you go. Hey, what you got there?
Pika.
Oh, it's Pikachu. Is he holding a pumpkin?
Yeah, he's holding a pumpkin with him, but
Oh,
the eyes are cut out.
that's so cute.
The eyes were a little cut because he tried to make him and he
Okay,
messed
let's
up
see
with
if
the
we got it.
eyes.
Will you do me a favor with Pikachu?
What?
Now, Pikachu is new to the house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what Pikachu needs is he needs a really big girl to show him how to rest.
I'm gonna show him the house first, cause.
Oh well, show him around, introduce him, say, "Hey, this is where we play, but we have to be good and careful, right?"
Yeah.
And then show him, "Hey, is he going to sleep in your bed?"
Yes. And
Okay.
tell him you go sit down.
Okay. Well, will you do?
Dad, go sit down.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, will you tuck him in and make sure he may, since it's a new house, he may be scared. So you lay down with him, okay? Yeah. Tuck him in and snuggle him.
Okay.
Okay. She got a Pikachu with he's holding a little pumpkin. So she was like, "Oh, look at him, Dad. He's so cute." Like, oh yeah. You want a little stuffed Pikachu, you know. She's actually, as far as kids are concerned, she is really good in the fact, like, you know, a lot of kids just pick up random stuff. Like, they're like, I want every toy in the universe. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. She's not like that at all, you know. And you go out, she'll like show you one or two things. She's like, those, she likes candy, of course. She's like, "Can eat candy?" Please, Dad. Like, can we get some candy for tomorrow? And, she wanted, like I said, her fish finally, you know, after a long time, it finally went to the great fish bowl in the sky. So she wanted another pet after she got past that. And I thought it would be a good thing so she wouldn't be focused on the fish. It was a rescue too. But anyway, back to part 1. Yes, this is indeed, it does say a part 1. I'm curious whatever else is there. But I have it all on messages because she talks too much and needs to shut the hell up. Even Jeremy says she is the one that gives him content and all she had to do is shut her mouth. Huh. Taking, again, redacted. From her mom, it says meme, but from her mom, that's I hate autocorrect, by the way. I really do. It's getting even worse now with new phones. AI, oh my gosh, AI is so dumb in phones. It spies on you, but it doesn't do a good job in what it's supposed to do. Great. But her mom is so wrong. She even said one day she was already looking to adopt redacted out to someone rich. What now? Again, I'm not saying that this is true in any way, shape, or form. I want to make that very clear. But according to Jamie here, her allegation is that she was looking to adopt a little one out to someone rich. That's awful. Even saying that, you know, if it was said in passing, would be awful. I mean, what's crazy, what's really crazy in this stuff is if she comes out and calls Jamie here an absolute liar about everything. Jamie said she has receipts on stuff. Now, she can do what she normally does and what her PR does, and they can come out and absolutely trash Jamie for this, right? And what that'll do is motivate Jamie to, if she notices it, to potentially fill in more gaps. See, that's the thing these people do not get. When they've gone out and trashed people over and over again, just like a Shara or a Slug or anyone else, they motivated them. Because when you call them liars and you say that they're not telling you the truth and all these other things, if they have proof, they'll show it. And again, I'm not saying that that's true. But go and trash them. Maybe they'll feel like they need to prove themselves. So Janice, thanks for the 2 there. Our 20 there. Thank you, 2. I said 2. But our 20, thank you. Baby umbrella and little umbrella. Let them buy treats. Indeed, indeed. Actually, the oldest has been like, she's been like, Dad, you know what I really need? I'm like, what? She's like, I really, really need this. She's like, my mental health depends on it. It was like, your mental health? Oh, okay. She's like, I need a plushie that looks just like my pet lizard. It was like, your mental health. Oh, okay. All right. So we might go in that way. And she does spend all of her time online while she yells at, again, child redacted, who is bored out of her mind because she's stuck in that shed. So again, you have somebody else saying, hey, all she does is spend her time ignoring and yelling at said child. And again, they're going to call her a liar and stuff. I'm sure they'll go in and just bash Jamie. And like I say, they may motivate her to actually drop a video or something. Like, it's crazy to motivate people that might know something. I just wanted you to know that I care, and I want to send you all my love. I want to also let you know that you're kind heart, admirable soul, and genuine, and you're one of a kind. I know how hard you work on these situations. So here, again, here's yet another person behind the scenes that's communicating with Shara. And the reason she's communicating, remember, Shara's putting together her story. She's putting together a picture. The way I look at it, I don't like the word journalist. Again, that's what you are. But journalist has a certain connotation to it. I look at a lot of this stuff more like trying to understand a puzzle. Because there's a lot of pieces in these puzzles. And you understand how they fit. And also the motivation for said, piece of said puzzle. How do they fit not just physically in a space, but how do they fit mentally? Now she said, how hard you work in the situation. And let me pray you all the strength to handle this attack too. So a year ago, again, I imagine that's when Shara became a target because she had mentioned that she had concerns, about animals. And she also had concerns about a child. I'm sure that's when, again, she could, I'm curious about the attack, by the way. This is something, Shara, if you do hear this, I would love for you to clarify. If you post about this, what exactly was transpiring? What was aimed your way? Because I've seen this referenced here and there, but you've never actually gone into detail saying what was aimed at you. Now, I've seen what's aimed at you now. I'm not talking about in the now. I very much have seen that. And I'm wondering, though, when things were kept more, when Shara hadn't said a lot publicly, what was being stated to keep her in line? Because a lot of this stuff is also about keeping people in line. Well, you did this to this person, and they'll just shut the fuck up. And even if they walk away, they'll walk away quietly. They won't actually reveal things that they saw or things that were troubling, they'll just walk away, and they'll walk away quiet. You see that in many situations. So I'm curious, Shara, what's happened there? I'm curious if other people's stories align with that too. You know, not saying you went through that, but if they experienced something like that too. You keep being you, but oh, wait, sorry. I'm staying quiet, she said. But the issue with Michelle brought me in, and Jeremy reminded me of her. Remember, you keep being you, but please keep your walls up around certain people. I'm glad you're going there, but I don't want anything to happen to you. Like, that's scary too. I don't want anything to happen to you. Shara's been noting that she is physically afraid of specific people. Not that she's afraid of litigation. Her statements have been that she is afraid of specific people. If there's fear of that, and you have other people saying, you know, I don't want anything to happen to you. You know, again, that takes on a more ominous connotation when I say it. Like, after some of the stuff that I've seen play out, it does, you know, and I'm curious. I would like clarification on exactly what that does mean. She gives her love to, you see that, you know, you mean a lot to me, sister. Reading back to your big stuff after this, you know, they exchange pleasantries there. Let me see. And then the animal pictures come up. Now, this again is a part 1, but already we have some fascinating things being discussed, because if there indeed were all these loaded items that were being alleged about Jeremy, if Jeremy did all of these, you know, things that were noted again in the fishing expedition. Let me bring that one up here. You know, after you've seen this, again, the reason I note this stuff is being important because it's filling in blanks. It gives you answers. A lot of people only pay attention to the thing that happens in a moment, you know, and we saw Shara actually getting dumped on because she keeps records of what's happening, you know, just like other ones of us, like me. I keep screenshots. I keep this stuff. I file it, and I file it away because, again, it's all pieces to a giant puzzle. And you try to understand. You also keep this stuff around as proof, because if people want to act on some of their statements and they want to sue you, keep it around. Everything. What was his statement based on? Well, okay. Well, look, here exactly what that was, you know. And if they go in and, you know, the other threat types, there's been other threats, again, about personal information and more. If they act on that stuff too, it shows you as you keep all of that. But in it, again, remember Shara, one of the things she noted at the very beginning of all of this was what was happening. This is a year from the dates we saw. That was August 2023. You know, all of those part 1s, plus the animal pictures. I didn't show those again. You can look at that. Like I said, if you look at that if you want to. I don't want to see those again. But a year later, after everything that was said about this woman, you have Preston going a fishing expedition, coming back to Shara. After everything she said, she wants Shara to go and basically make contact, if she knows, and push her over to the PR team. So out of the blue, this is what Shara was saying, out of the blue, you know, no contact for a while. She could say, hey, Shara, is Jamie hiding out? You know, what's up with Jamie? You know, like, Like, hey, I just started wondering about Jamie, even though I said all of these things about her and more. Now, I do find something interesting too in the audio that she put up there. It seemed to be stating, like, when she was talking about concerns for a kid and CPS. And again, I'm not telling anyone to contact when I say this stuff. I'm just noting. I need to go back and listen to that 3 or 4 more times just to see how I take that about, did she actually make contact? What was noted with that and more? What's she saying in that? I mean, but fishing expedition. And then a year later, after you saw the anger there, Shara's like, what? What girls? Get the answer there. Like, where's that being discussed? Jeremy's talking about her videos, and he's like, and so what? Her camper, etc. So the girls want to know if Jamie will show the sex tapes. Wait, what? What? If there's all this stuff, he's talking so much crap. And so they want to see the real Jeremy. The real Jeremy. Again. Huh. Now, if there was all this stuff, like, would she be acting nice about if Jeremy was doing all this duplicitous shit? Do you think she would seem like, again, she's not saying, hey, me and Jeremy are pals. That's how it'll be spun, I'm sure. Oh, he was somehow a plant all along, too, I guess. This person was as well, but no. I mean, do you think she would seem like even about that at all? No. And Shara's like, I got to dig. Like, what was this for? You should be listening. He was fired from. It's like, how long had it been on? And like I said, this becomes an interesting, because there's more fishing that comes back. You have again, how are you doing this morning? Did you listen to them? It was good. People care. And Shara, again, she notes her concerns. I won't say more at this time because you need Bruce. But the one thing I will say is that 2Ls are making mistakes. It's going to come back on the case. I'm purposely keeping myself out of that gig. I do not hate journalism. I'm about necessary facts appropriately published. So she's saying, again, I don't want anything to do with that right there. Again, this is the kind of stuff that won't just hurt your case, by the way. It may pull somebody in. If you make accusations about him doing things that are inappropriate, you have no proof whatsoever. By the way, those fucking weirdos, I saw this. Somebody messaged me. And they were trying to they were saying, well, I read somewhere, they'd started spreading a rumor that Megan and I are having an affair. No shit. Like, isn't that fucked up? This is a person that's never even seen my face. Because a man it just tells you, like, a man and a woman, it's so foreign concept that they can sit there and have fun and agree on stuff that they have to spread malicious, defamatory shit, trying to dump on that woman, tearing another woman down. Isn't that fascinating, huh? I always find that interesting. Oh man, we're out here. We just journalists. We just speak the truth. By the way. And when they deny that, they're transcripts of everything they do. That's the thing. People like grab the transcripts of it. And I mean, it's there. They grab the videos and they grab the transcripts. So it's not like you can deny that you say this shit. But it's like, whoa, really? That's your high bar. Oh, by the way, let us talk about the case. Did you hear? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's your defense against Shara going out and spilling the beans? I mean, sheesh, you know. Maybe us mere mortals can't turn water into wine, but you know what? Shara can brew an excellent tea. Drinking that tea, baby. Drinking it. What's the answer for that? But it is interesting. She says, you know, I don't want to be like, this is messing up your case. Be careful. And you know how that gets boiled down to? Jealousy. Jealousy. They're not replacing you. They're telling both sides. It has nothing to do with you. They want, this is why I'm bringing this part up, because it's all not talking about Jamie. She says, listen to this. That's why they want to talk to Jamie. Oh, he calls her a meth head. This is the person that said, you know, again, the little people in the walls. Like, this is something to set correct. There's a narrative that's been presented that Jeremy, oh, he's calling her this. Oh, he's made a name. Jamster. Oh my God. But he didn't create that. He's repeating something. He didn't just out of the blue start calling people meth heads. It's like, wait a minute. You know, and again, this is wild, because you saw the statements a year before in that video. That is from a year ago. With her herself noting accusations that she said are false. Let me pull that, like, again, give me 1 second. Let me unlock this. Let me just pull this up real fast, because I want to. I mean, she was really mad about those statements, you know? I mean, give me a second. Like, when she's talking about it, she says, again, in this stuff, you know, you think telling everyone I was shooting on the camper and imaginary people is okay? You know, that's part of that. And when it goes through, she talks about the handyman. Where is that part? Lord. You know, she's talking about the land being smelly and more. There was the statement about the handyman somewhere in here. You know, I don't hang out with meth users. She uses that specifically. These are accusations being levied about her that she's responding to. But suddenly it becomes all about Jeremy did this. Yet again. And it's strange how the truth gets left right out there by the wayside. So, you know, he calls her Jamster. She needs to give up those sexting texts and help me. And again, the redacted one, you know, the one again that this person, Jamie, noted many things about in their statements. So now, suddenly, you know, Shara is being told, you know, it's all about that. And the other part, you think this is going to work with him, by the way? Really? And now this young man and his mama and sisters. And also, isn't that fucked up too? This young man. So remember, you know, that's also a very interesting statement, because she's bringing up family members. She's right there in connection. That's one of the things that I don't think a lot of people have noted, but she was utilizing them with her PR team. And she's trying to get Shara on board with that too. We need someone to tell our side, Shara. Like right now. We can wait anymore with John being arrested. It just went way too far. All of it went way too far. But it's somebody's. And then, you know, again, accuses her. So that's all this is? You're jealous? You think they become the new journalists? No, we didn't. They bring up Lloyd. We don't have a new journalist. Sounds like you're bowing out because you're jealous. And then again, the statement about Bruce. I'm not happy with Bruce. Bruce, she's not happy with you, but it doesn't matter. They ignore all of this. Like I said, doesn't exist, apparently. Instead, Shara's being called things like a dirty deleter and whatnot. It motivates her to do more, I'm sure. So props to them, you know. I'm not happy with any of this. I had a team. That's what I needed. She talked a lot of shit about Lloyd. And then, of course, you know, I mean, a lot of shit about Lloyd. But of course, Shara's like jealous. Jealous of what exactly? You know, that's where our leaks ended up ending. But isn't it fascinating? Like I say, that Shara, when she's discussing all of this, let's see where she's at. Look, by the way, she's less than 20 subscribers away. If you look at her channel, she is already, tonight, she has gained at least 40 subscribers. You know, we haven't even talked about her channel like Joy, but she is almost to 2,000 subscribers. And again, I find it fascinating considering when you look at the promises that were made to other people, people like Shizzy, for example. They promised more views. They promised all this stuff, you know. If you have them around and you have them on. And yet when you look at her videos and her stuff, again, her video that we talked about, like this one here, we've talked about other ones, you know, and this stuff, when it came up, okay. But when she started talking about what was there, she started talking about the stuff that she knows, finally putting out things after a while, after people coming after her. She ends up with, I thought this was going to end her. I mean, they actually, again, there were people making statements about she'll never grow a channel. She'll never bypass 1,000 subscribers. She would never grow. That would be the end of her channel. She'd be done. And yet you look, video from a week ago, she had 8,500 views on. So far today, she has 4,000 views on this one right here. And again, if you have not watched it, by the way, or if you've not actually gone to that channel, you should give the channel views. Not only that, but again, the funny thing about it is they're actually going to do the one thing that I don't think they wanted to do. Not only are they motivating Shara, which is bad enough for them, but all of their vitriol and all of their threats are going to end up monetizing. That's right. She's actually going to end up monetized out of this stuff. And that's really going to piss some people off. You know, I think that's funny. Because you know that's not what they want to do. You know they don't want her to actually have any success. Again, they've been trashing her the best that they could. And instead of that working out, like I said, it's motivated her to do stuff. When I go in and I look at all of the commentary, in fact, like I said, I don't know how much I missed. Let me just show you this, okay? I was going through and I was looking at all the comments that she's made within a week. All of the stuff. Again, you know, a week sometimes seems like a lifetime when you deal with so much crazy that pops up. But if you go in and you actually look through Facebook posts, I mean, look at this stuff. Look at how many replies and comments. You know, these are the newest ones. And I'm sure I've missed stuff, by the way. In fact, if you notice something that I did not cover, and it actually is very important, then let me know, you know, mail it to me. Like say, hey, yo, you missed this one. This one's actually big time. But if you look, I mean, they motivated her to say a lot, you know, I mean, look at all this. You know, it's fascinating too, because they were saying, well, she's doing this all for attention. She's trying to make the monies. And it's like, if she were trying to actually make money off of this, she would make a video out of every single thing here. And to be honest, I would encourage some of these things she could put, like some of these statements, when she wants to put this stuff in order and make statements, she can make a video out of it. To be honest, she would even have to put sound. She could put like music, like, you know, use royalty-free music, put it there, and make sure that her statements are listed in order, preserve them, as it were. You know, that way she's out here preserving things for the record. That's what she's noted. Hey, I'm going out, I'm putting all of this stuff down, and this is all in the last week. You know, everything that's noted in there. But this is all, again, 1 week worth of stuff. And oh my goodness, like, I know I've missed a few. Like, I don't remember that one, you know. And they've been answering her too. Like, they say, oh, we don't care about what she's saying, but they have been, because when she's saying things like, wait a minute, can you answer how did your PR actually get your privilege chats? How did they know that I'm a supposed dirty deleter? And how did I do this or that when they don't have them, right? Because they're privileged. They wouldn't know about this stuff, right? So how would they actually know what was or wasn't stated? How would they know I'm added to something, or if I wasn't? How did they know any of this? And by the way, I am curious too, you know, as far as adding her to stuff. Isn't it fascinating that one source, like for me, even though, again, I've talked to Jeremy a couple of times for interview purposes, I've clarified a couple of things, you know, to make sure, hey, I understand this correctly, but it's been very limited. I don't know the inner workings of his law firm. I don't know who's connected to what, but interestingly, these people that supposedly aren't PR, they are very privy to the inner workings of things that, well, just a random nobody or somebody covering, they wouldn't. These are the same, again, these are people that admittedly just now, by the way, I thought this was interesting too, in their back and forths. They admitted that they did not have all of the FOIA requests that Shara did. So as far as all the documentation that has been discussed repeatedly these days, you know, the things that they keep bringing up, they haven't actually looked at it. You know how they haven't looked at it? You know how you know that? Because they didn't have it. Like, isn't that wild? You know, when you've gone in and you've made up your mind about something without looking at the merits of anything, you've just decided, for whatever reason, best case scenario, because someone told you a story, you decided that by itself has merit. That's wrong. That's not how you do this. You look at all the evidence, you look at all of the filings, you look at every single item you can get your hands on, then you attach your opinion to it. And you're allowed to have opinions, by the way. But I mean, look at all this motivation. Like I said, there's so much of it. I've had trouble, like when I say, you know, I feel like this, by the way, popcorn ready, sauce all good, man. It's all good, man. I love it, but I feel like that too. But I mean, look at all of it. I mean, she's, again, when I'm scrolling by, you can see commentary. You know, she's been answering people, and this is just one video's answers or posts. There's a lot of that. Now, there's one other thing to cover today too, and this is actually interesting because, give me 1 second. This is connected to the thumbnail litigation. Okay, this is about the evidentiary hearing. You know, there was a request. If you didn't, if you haven't kept up with this, again, the thumbnail lawsuit, that is the one that is connected to. Give me a second here. That is connected to Jeremy, George. You have You have DUI guy, and you also have DJ Radis. And again, unfortunately, they throw names out there all the time. So, redaction of names, it doesn't actually help anymore. Honestly, I tried on that, but of course they don't want that. And these folks, of course, they play the game of, oh no, that's not what we're doing. Sure. Same people that, again, they run background checks. I mean, they don't read documentation. Remember, they don't keep up with a trial. They don't read the actual evidence, but they do background checks on people and shit. What the fuck? Only certain people, though. Only certain people get that. But this, okay. So you had a filing calling this a sham lawsuit. Now that was denied. Then you had another filing saying, hey, we have to have an evidentiary hearing. It is a requirement under law that we have. You shall have one. Not you may have one. You shall have an evidentiary hearing. Now, this order right here, actually, interestingly enough, gives you sometimes the grounds for appeal. Later on, you actually do, because it was listed in the law that you're supposed to have an evidentiary hearing, and you don't have that. Again, any of this kind of stuff. And if you think, oh man, well, and again, I'm not saying anything's lost or anything, but when you look at something and you think it's an error, that can open up grounds for appeal. But this is the court saying, no, we're not going to have an evidentiary hearing to determine whether or not that this is sham lawsuit. Now, this will be celebrated. This is the beautiful thing about stuff like this. You'll have people that don't understand what's going on sitting out here and applauding. But I'm telling you, when I look at this lawsuit, this is vexatious litigation. When everything is presented, when you look at the law, the actual rule that they're trying to go off of, and then you look at what is or isn't allowed under said law. Again, this is not going. They're not going to win. Again, if they did, I would be shocked. But what you're going to have, again, you haven't even moved toward trial yet, right? But every time that you have a filing, it racks up more money. And ultimately, when you get to a certain point in this, what's going to happen is, of course, every litigant that is involved here, they're going to countersue. They're going to countersue right off the bat. They're going to want their lawyer expenses, and they've added in multiple parties. So you're talking about quite a bit of money that could potentially be on the line here, So when they're celebrating this stuff and they're like, it's going to go further. Yeah, you go further down the road. You rack up more and more costs. And you see how much some of these cases cost. Like I said, in the past, I watched what I thought was a travesty, by the way, with Vic Mignogna. Didn't even get to the actual trial. You ended up getting it shot down in slap statute. Something was called free speech. But there were 4 parties. My point in this and bringing it up is there were 4 parties that were involved. Now, you think the legal expenses of one party is a lot? When you get down to multiple parties, which are here, ooh, man, you end up getting hit for some garbage lawsuit that you've brought. And people want that money back. And that's just that part. If they go in, they also have opened up Pandora's box, as it were, too. Because they want to play we're going to win. Okay, well, you realize every one of the channels that you're talking about here, they've used the image. They've used the name. They've repeatedly gone out and they're monetizing. They are selling crystal, let's say these, yeah, and they're selling crystal woodrows and other items, and they're collecting money. So they're definitely monetizing that name. So the thing that they applaud and the thing that they hope they win, again, you think about the double-edged sword of this stuff. Because when they go out, they talk about this being newsworthy. And again, Bruce has made this statement multiple times. He's tried to bring in journalists and more, saying that this thing it's newsworthy. It's a big story, and it's just going to get bigger. Never seen anything like it. He's already proven that this is newsworthy. He's made that statement to other journalists. He's trying to entice into it. And you can't have that both ways either. You can't say, cover this. You can't bring in a PR team to cover it online. And also, again, throw out the name of that other person, their images and more, and then say, oh, no. You can't use my client's image. Okay. Like I said, there's so many problems. First of all, it gets shut down anyway, but even if it did go forward, I mean, it is, like I said, it is a disaster, no matter how that would roll for him. But the court says this cause is before the court upon the motion for reconsideration, denial of evidentiary hearing filed by counsel defendants, again, et cetera, people, all the people. The motion for reconsideration alleges the court erred in failing to grant defendants a hearing. The rule 1.150, motion to strike sham pleadings as such procedure they propose is required by law. Upon consideration of the argument, law cited in their motion, the court finds reconsideration of the ruling denying hearing is not warranted, as such denial was based on legal insufficiency of defendant's motions, invocation of authority vested, the court of Florida rules, civil procedure, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, they're not going to go back and look at this one thing. Okay. So they're not going to have an evidentiary hearing. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that you're going to have more filings, like I said. You're right. You're exactly where you were before. Every time they talk about this case, though, interestingly enough, every time they file something and they talk about it being a sham and they talk about it being garbage litigation, they also get to discuss the case a little bit more. So every filing puts this insanity in front of a judge, too. And it's going to be interesting, like I say. Larry noted, too, he hasn't done statements in a hot minute. He's been busy doing his own thing. But he noted, this is the way forward. Like, this is not the thing that you'd want to do. Because, again, there will be countersuits. And you better believe that when you're wasting people's money, time, you're making them, at least some of them, I get the feeling like from a DUI guy, for example, like he does not seem stressed in any way. He's very confident that this is just going to fall by the wayside. But you have other people that are definitely worried about this stuff. You go in and you threaten, you use lawfare. Yeah, man. Counterclaims, the countersuits are definitely going to hit. So it'll be interesting to watch go forward. But this just landed. Again, you can see, like when it popped up, it just actually entered and appeared. Not a big filing, but it tells you where things are. I do want to bring up one other thing tonight, too. Actually, I think this is very important. This actually goes with a kind of a horrible thing, actually. Give me 1 second here. Now, this goes with another case that we've talked about. And I haven't talked about it a lot recently, but I think this is actually very important. Okay? So, you remember the Twinspiracy, the Laura Owens case. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on there, it just got crazy because the lawyer for Laura Owens. If you don't know that case, by the way, it's an insane one, but you need to know this stuff here, okay? Because the law needs to take certain types of people to task. You know, people that go out, not only fake pregnancies and drag people into courts, but also they falsely call people, I'm going to say, ARPists. Does that sound familiar with things that we've seen? If you haven't kept up with this, though, Clayton Echard, the Bachelor, one time, he ends up having a tryst, let's say, one night where he talks about, again, forgive me saying this, but he ends up having oral relations, I'm going to say, with a female. He considers that a mistake. Off of that, she alleges that she got pregnant. This ends up, he doesn't believe it. This ends up going to court. There are many things that lies about. Now, this is where it's going to get crazy, okay? I since the court thing, I haven't paid a lot of attention. I haven't talked about it a lot. But the lawyer for her, David Gingras, or Gingras, I'm going to still call him Gingras, he has actually started making videos, okay? Now, I've said repeatedly to people behind the scenes, I'm not posted about this, but I've told people repeatedly, this guy's going to strike you if you try to cover his stuff. He's going to start acting like a crazy person. He's going to do all kinds of insanity, but I never thought the insanity would go to this level. So what we found out was that the judge that was involved with this stuff, she actually filed a bar complaint about this lawyer. And yet he's on there again. Megan says, you know, he put up a video called Grab My Legal Podcast Season 1, Episode 2, which that kind of stuff by itself can get you banned on YouTube. You know, titles like that will get you in trouble. That by itself get a channel banned, especially a new channel. But out of this, he put up, this is a transcript from it. He said, you know, I had I'm going to say pew pew. I bought my pew pew with me to court, not into the building. You're not allowed to do that in Arizona. And Arizona is open carry state. You can have the pew pew anywhere you want. It was in the car. I had private security with me, which I've never done. I had court security because we were afraid that some lunatic JFC cult member was going to run up to us and blow our heads off. And Judge Matta put us in a position where there was nothing for the court to decide, no motion, etc. You know, going after Judge Matta again. You know, I cannot tell you how angry that makes me. Oh, God forbid something happened that day. Oh, I just feel it doesn't make you angry. I don't care what you think about Laura. I don't care what you think about me. If you were put in the position where a judge put you on a parade for her dad, so he goes after the judge's dad again, after the judge has filed a bar complaint, and his client is actually under investigation, still pending. It's enough. It's enough. I'm going to go forward with our appeal. And you see him talking about, again, the old pew pew. He claimed that Judge Matta forced him to carry a trial to defend himself from quote-unquote JFC cult members. But there was an entire SWAT team plus court security there. I was there, Megan notes. No one even said a word to him. They also lingered outside quite a while, laughing. Actually, let me blow this up. Let me make sure this blows up correctly. Just give me 1 second. Like I said, I think all of this is important to bring up. Otherwise, I don't. He's not funny anymore. He's actually quite unhinged, in my opinion. So that's why I don't talk about him anymore, because he's fucking unhinged, in my opinion. But he's outside talking and laughing. I have photos, she said. So let me pick up the next part of this. Again, I think this, like I said, is very important to go over. At the end of his video, he said he was so angry at the judge that he needed a Valium. I've known people who were arrested for threatening a judge because they wrote a strongly worded email. He brandished a pew-pew and accused Mata of retaliating against him by filing a bar complaint. He then removed the video almost as soon as it finished playing. He's put it up by now again because it's too late, but he put it back up there. And we have a copy noted. Please protect the judge. He'll be filing a complaint against the lawyer. I mean, you know, he said, I have asked the bar to refer this man with a known substance problem for testing. His erratic behavior coupled with threats against clients, critics, victims should concern. And it is. This is unhinged shit. He is fixated on Dave Neal. He's fixated on him. And I find it disturbing, to be honest. And the story about him being afraid is demonstrably false. I have film and photos of a huge police presence, him hanging out in the parking lot with the client, laughing and chatting. So what do you think of this? So why do you think he did this? Okay, now, after this comes up and people start having a problem, what's his answer to it, do you think? Well, of course, it's him threatening to sue anyone that actually talks about it. And when he does this, it is boggling. All right. It is absolutely mind fucking boggling. Because he starts, okay, give me a second here. Now, you're allowed to talk about stuff with fair use, by the way. You are. But here he is. You know, he's talking about, uploading. And this gets covered. And he's like, my newest video. To be clear, Megan Fox asked me recently for permission to post parts of it. And I said, yeah, fine. But a new rule. If any JFC YouTube person posts any part of this, I will copyright strike you. The reason is for this asshole. Rather than to give him views. Now, here's the thing. He's saying, now again, if you went in and you copied his damn stream verbatim, like you just took it and you did no transformation whatsoever, that would not fall under fair use. However, what he's saying here, it's fascinating because he's like, I'm going to strike people. And then he's like, oh, well, you know what? I'm copywriting it. I'm copywriting my video. Guys, I told people not to steal my work. For everyone who ignored that, the video has been registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. Now, first of all, people need to stop subscribing to this dude's channel. Fuck him. You know what he needs? See, he can't monetize. He's talking about the loss of money, revenue. He doesn't get money or revenue. He doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet, and he doesn't need that. Like, don't make him earn it. Don't give it to him, you know. But he's like, every person who infringe work will be sued. Every single one. I keep telling people, he is a nasty piece of work, and all he wants is either attention. If he can't do that, he's unhinged, man. This dude acts unfucking hinged. Again, he's made plenty of threats toward he's gonna take everything from people like Dave Neal. I mean, it's insanity, right? And has people like Legal Vices being like, yo, yeah, you can't do this. Is not how this works. Actually, let's look up. Vices actually commented on this too. You know, he where's your comment, Vices? Damn it, Vices. I know you have a comment on here. There's actually a good one too. Yeah. Just give me a second. Good Lord. I can't find it right off the bat. Man, Vices, it buried your freaking comment. Vices actually had a very good comment on this, though, talking about talking about how, again, how fair use works and how copyright law works. And of course, he ignores that. He's already lost in court before. But he's like, oh, well, you know, now it's he's telling you, I'll strike everyone who tested. This right here, by the way, statements like this is him telling people that he will false flag. That's another reason his channel gets shut down for this shit. You're not allowed to abuse the system. And he's telling people straight up, he'll do that. But like I said, I've been telling people, like, fuck him. Let you cover filings. You talk about what's there. And if you want to be a test case where the guy actually he actually ends up getting himself sued, then so be it. You can do that, you know. And what's bad for him, ultimately at the end of the day, like he can't stand, is when people stop paying attention. You'll see like 856 views, one comment. You'll see the drop off, you know. And with the drop off there, he's actually trying to be like, oh man, this is how fair use works. I mean, hey. Now there was a big lawsuit. There was a YouTuber. I can't remember the YouTubers that sued, but the channel that went after this way back in the day, it was a channel called H3H3. Now H3H3, they had basically laughed at this guy. This guy would do, there were cringy videos. A woman would be like running or working out, you know, she'd be a pretty woman. And this guy would just pop in. He would say some really cringy, sexist type stuff. She would be furious, but intrigued. She would chase after him for some reason and he'd do parkour. The woman would parkour. And, you know, it's very cringy. So this channel made fun of it. Because it was awful. It was so stupid, okay? And the guy was mad. Instead of leaning into it and be like, ha, 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 you know, and monetizing it like you should, he sued. Guess what? Didn't win. Now, there was also another case, a really interesting one, where Sargon of Akkad, he ended up getting sued. He uploaded another work in its entirety, but he changed the title. Court ruled that the title change, because of what he was stating with that constituted fair use because it was transformative. He had gone in, his commentary was the title change. That's all it took. So there have actually been precedents that have been set with this stuff. So as far as him threatening this, what fascinates me is the change. Like he's gone from talking about how, you know, oh man, it's going to be great to go out here. It's going to be good to do this, that, and the other, to wanting to shut people down. Now, why would he do that? Now, I already told people like that's what's going to happen. But the reason, in my opinion, he's doing that is because he put up a video he doesn't want people to talk about anymore. And that's because the stuff that he points yet again at a sitting judge is the kind of stuff that can cause you real problems. This judge has already filed complaints about him because he went after her father. He put in a court hearing, I'm paraphrasing, but he put in something like, I mean, it said, it was in quotes, with the judge supposedly talking like, he, look at me, daddy, I'm a real judge. He put that in a fucking filing in front of a judge. And he is fixated on this judge because he's lost. Now, again, you can question a judge or whatever, but the kind of stuff that he's doing was well beyond. And now him, you know, first of all, being on YouTube and waving around the old pew is not good anyway. That kind of stuff will get you banned. Going after a judge, something that could look like an incitement, that could get you banned too. Now, I'm not, this is just mind-blowing because it has gone off in an unhinged way. They also made jokes about when he did an interview, he said, he introduced himself and his client. He said, "Oh yeah, look, hey, it's Douche Canoe and the pregnancy faker." And she was like, "Ha ha." So they were making a laugh track out of putting Clayton Eckerd through hell. She is under investigation right now, and they think it's funny. They think it's a game. And like I said, I think that this is worth noting. I've not, again, I've been, I mean, there are better people that cover that. You know, they'll keep you more up to date on everything. I'm tired of those people. Like I will be disgusted if the law enforcement doesn't do anything at all. But I thought that needed to be brought up. I think all of you, though, when you look at this, you know, I'm a straight up say, make him earn his own subs. Don't go up there, you know, YouTubers, don't be leading traffic to that person. If you're talking about them too, you know, one of the things they can't do, you can bring up transcripts of everything they say. Have live readings. Laugh about it. You know, go through and do a dramatic reading of parts. It's like a 45-minute freaking video, you know. But in the first video, again, I heard people saying things like, "Oh man, you know, he seems more personable. Oh, he doesn't seem like such a d-bag," you know. And I was like, this dude is going to strike you guys. You know, and again, when I'm talking to people like that, they can do whatever. I concerned for people like Megan, for example. You know, Megan's a friend of mine, and agree or disagree on something. You know, we will discuss something like that if something comes up. I will note. I'm like, look, this is what the person will do, and he's leaned in. He's done that. He didn't even take one video. Like the second video, he's already out there. Now, again, he noted that Megan had his permission, but at the same time, he's like, I'm going to start striking. New rule. So you never know. She could win in, could she or other people win litigation? Sure. But here's the thing too. People like that, like these lawyers, they love lawfare. They love to intimidate and to silence people. And they always say that they're free speech lawyers. Have you ever noticed, like, all these lawyers that do this kind of crap, they're all free speech lawyers, right? Because they always love the First Amendment. They always love the fact that you out there, you can have your opinion on something. You can speak it loudly and proudly, unless you don't walk lockstep. They defend their speech. They don't defend free speech. The hardest speech to defend are things that you disagree with. Now, they always try to pull but hate speech, bullying, you know, and there are legal lines, of course. There are. But talking about a case is not that. Disagreeing, thinking somebody's scummy, that's not it. That's not it at all. Anyway, let's see. John, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you very much. I appreciate that sincerely. Thank you, my friend. Again, much love to you and yours. Roberg, Spawn Trooper has a message. Something relevant to the topic. New. It's new with something relevant to the topic. Let me see exactly. I think I saw Spawn Trooper. Let me look real quick. Let me see what's there. Just give me 1 second, okay? Let me look and see if it's something that I need to look at, or if it's something that that I can just note without actually, you know, reading on. One moment here. I'm looking at messages, so just give me a second. If it's something that, let's see. Oh yeah, Social Blade. Actually, I should have looked at Social Blade. Give me 1 second. I do. This actually does pertain to everything. If you want to see success, I think this is a good caliber for success. This is actually a good thing. So there's a site out there called Social Blade, and Social Blade keeps metrics for how well a channel is doing. All right. And if you want to see something fascinating about like Shara's channel, check this out here. Give me 1 second. So here's again. Now their metrics are not exactly spot on, but check this out. I mean, you look at the channel. You look at the daily, weekly averages for subscribers. Look at that explosion of subscribers throughout there. Look at that. So you have, again, 600, 160, 120, 60, 50, 160. So you can see an explosion of that. And also as far as views. For the month, she picked up almost 20,000 views. If people are paying attention, that's got to rub these folks the wrong way. And you got to love that. So again, I would encourage you to subscribe to Shara's channel. Just because, if nothing else, it is interesting. It encourages her too. I'm gonna encourage her again. Oh, she's at 2,000 subscribers. Check this out. So I just refreshed her screen. 1 second on this too. Look at this. 2K, baby. She's hit the 2K. You know what makes them mad too? I think they had like 3.6K. She's already halfway there. And again, how all these people saying that they were going to build up all these channels, they were going to do all this stuff for them, and they didn't. I mean, like I said, I think Shara, again, you don't have to like Shara, or you can really like right now. Again, I really do think, from what I've seen, I honestly do believe that Shara, she thought she was doing something right. Now, you can disagree with what she said or what she still says, whatever. But I think that she was not looking at this stuff logically. She was looking at it emotionally. When she started looking at things a little more, a little clearer, it's Social Blade like Sling Blade. I hope not. I hope not. A lot of their numbers, like I said, they're inaccurate. They don't pick up. They also don't include, like a channel like mine, for example. I've been on the same subject for a while. You lose subscribers doing that. Like straight up. You lose subscribers. And when I decide to cover something in video form that's considered in the moment relevant, you've gained them all back. But right now, I don't want to cover anything else. This right here is interesting to me. I think there's a legitimate issue here. I think, again, you have people running massive PR. I think Jeremy, he's being forced off his fucking land. This guy goes into a place, spends money, actually boosts their, that's the other thing that Jamie noted. Great people in Otter Creek, but what is Otter Creek? It's poor, abandoned buildings, vacancy, all of these issues. You have poverty there. What's being done about that? Well, I don't know. Maybe if you're going to the flea market and and buying some used goods, man, maybe you're, I don't know. But are they really stimulating growth with all of this stuff? Have they done anything positive? Do you think other people want to go to Otter Creek? Because I certainly wouldn't want to go down there. They may motivate, a dozen fucking weirdos to go down there and do God knows what. But are they going to motivate hundreds of people to actually go in and stimulate this place's economy? A guy with 700,000 plus subscribers, when he goes somewhere like that, he should have been considered a valuable member of that community. He should have been, because he could have taken what is essentially not a dying town. That town is dead, I always like that in Phantasm. I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, but I always like this statement. It said, small towns are a lot like people. Some of them die a natural death. Some of them are murdered. I think that town, it was definitely dying a natural death. And then some people came along and, well, it protected the status quo though, right? Everything will remain exactly like it was. Oh, So great, huh? Protecting the little man by letting the little man not make money, not get that bread. You know, you're not going to have fun festivals. You're not going to have all of that stuff. Again, you know, that's a loss to the community. But hey, you know, at least you can protect the bureaucrats that live there and their fucking, they're very questionable bullshit that they've pulled for a while. But again, you know, what I've learned from this too, I'm going to say this point blank. The fucking people that are brought in here, you hear how they talk about, like again, they always like to talk about people like myself, accents. I'm a Southerner. I live in small town USA. This is what we sound like. But you know what? Hey, you know, I come from poverty too. I'm the first, I am the first person in my family to be able to go to college, to be able to do the kind of things I've done. I've been very fortunate. And these people, they are outside. They're interlopers that come in and mock that kind of shit. Because at the end of the day, they look down upon the type of people that live in Otter Creek. But hey, you embrace those people. You embrace those interlopers. You embrace those carpetbaggers and see how that goes. But I mean, hey, maybe I'll give them a couple of subscribers on YouTube. Anyway, let me hit some super chats here and then we'll be done. 1 second. I know the sponsor, but thank you, by the way, Real Bird. Appreciate you. Vanessa, thanks for 5. Sorry, Tug. Rebel had an autocorrect error. She meant to say you. Typo. Sorry, sir. That's fine. I knew that was a typo. I know. There's certain people too. I know. Like if I had a statement come in and it said something like that, typically I'd be like, oh, what now? You know, if it were a certain people trying to do that would damage. But again, Rebel is appreciated. You mods are appreciated, folks. I know. Again, we had a discussion about we clarified a couple of rules, but mods again, they're appreciated very much. So I know, like, you help the channel, so thank you. And thank you, Rebel Bird. I appreciate you. YouTube it is. So thank you for clarifying that for everyone out there too. Suzanne, thanks for the 5 there. Please look up my background as I have early onset dementia. I can't remember it all. Just trying to make light of my losses. That actually sucks, Suzanne. You know, I do think we should be able to laugh. Actually, as I get older, I notice that I forget more and more things. I go in and use memory apps. You know, things that make you. I see. I've got one specific one. You should try this out too. If you're having issues, my grandma had Alzheimer's, and it was awful to watch play out. And she fought and did her best, and she was able to hang on for a lot longer because she did certain things. But there's an app called Elevate. Now, Elevate has all these, they're really quick games you can do. They're entertaining. You have like a rocket ship. It takes off, and you'll have a definition that pops up, and there'll be 2 words that pop up under it, and you have to click it really fast to keep the rocket ship flying, right? So, I mean, it's stuff like that, and they can be fun, but they're memory games, you know? I do those usually every morning. I do about 5 to 10 minutes of those. That way, when you're working out, you're not just working out. We take so much time to work out our arms, our legs, but we don't work our minds out. As we get older and older, you know, I'm getting there. I notice that I forget more things. I have more pauses. I forget certain words. You know, I'm like, you know, it happens. but we fight, we swing. Denise, thanks for the 10 there too. The saddest thing in all of this is HD is growing up in a little dump, isolated from other kids, no preschool, being raised by subhumans who yell all day, drink and abuse medication, and are wretched people. I feel there are a lot of, I've always been careful about the way I say things because I do not like, this is not because of a litigious person. I just think their words set the line on what's happening with a child. When they tell me red flags, when they tell me that there's somebody there that's all these terrible things, to me, that is a profound statement. The things that we hear aimed for John Cook, those things are profound statements. Again, he was supposed to be so horrible that even after a person left him, what he was put them in the ground. That was, again, paraphrased, but from Michelle Preston. They keep the remains in a bottle in the shed. She has said that he is all types of abusive. She talked about wanting to get away from him, and yet couldn't. All these other things. Again, if I take her by her word, those are giant red flags. But I'm supposed to ignore all that. I'm supposed to take her at her word when it's convenient, but I'm not supposed to take her at her word when it's not. And again, I'm not trying to motivate you, and I'm not telling you to call anybody. In fact, I'm telling you quite the opposite. Like I said, PSA, again, contact no one, contact no agencies. I'm not telling you to do that. I find it terrible, absolutely terrible that you have somebody that makes statements like that, and we're supposed to ignore it all. And then you have all these other people. Whether it's a Lloyd. Lloyd, again, he was a great trusted person until he wasn't. He was all these great things until he wasn't. Oh. You also have, again, the grandkids, her own blood. People I was sent pictures of with the kid and with Preston and told, oh, look, they look happy. Bruce sending me them. And yet when you look at them and you actually, you read what they've either said or you listen to complaints that they've made or calls that they've made, police interactions, it paints another picture. You have other people that have been on the property. Everybody, you're supposed to just miss all of that or ignore it all. I'll get behind a fence. It all goes away. Huh. Also, Janice, thanks for the 10 tug. I absolutely love listening to your accent. Yeah, it's funny, actually. When I started, thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. It is, it's fascinating how people want you to be ashamed of who you are. It's funny, in this day and age, we're told that we're supposed to accept and embrace who we are unless, right? I'm proud of where I come from. Like I said, I am proud of my family members. I'm proud of the working class folks, the farmers. I'm proud of my parents. I'm proud of the area I'm from. In fact, we have armies of people. We used to be one of those forgotten, the flyover say, right? Nobody cared about us. They just wanted us to dwindle on the vine. Now they're fleeing to our states. Socially, people love it here. It's beautiful. We have no income tax. People want to flock here. It's just fascinating. But I remember when I first started YouTubing, I was told that if you had a Southern accent, you might want to use AI. Because if you used AI, well, that give you a better chance. I was like, yeah, no thanks. Well, you see how that works out. Be proud of yourself. And also Susie. And thank you, Janice, by the way. Appreciate you for sure. And Suzanne, thanks for the $5 there. It's for brain scarring due to spinal meningitis. It keeps getting worse. We'll try the app. Thanks. Yes, I hope, by the way, I hope you have, I hope when you have a diagnosis, I hope physically they're helping you, but also, again, I hope that you talk to a mental health professional, because a mental health professional sometimes can help too, not just with the worry that comes with things, anxiety, stress that might come up, but also somebody that might actually be able to help you with skills related to this. Sometimes a healthcare professional, they'll go so far, but they don't go far enough. And like I said, I hope you have support around. You're always, again, welcome, loved here. Thank you. Anyway, today it was pretty good. The next live stream we do, I really do want to go over that freaking trailer and the police coming for, again, Jamie Johnson stuff, her trailer, not for her, but because, again, I think this is all one complete picture. Remember, she was all these terrible things, according to Lynette, and yet she wanted Shara to weaponize her, to give her contact. She wanted something from her, even though she said all these terrible things about her. So, anyway, I thought this was interesting. I appreciate you. It's Friday, and yeah, we may do it tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. We'll see, but love, and we'll see you.